We all dream of meeting the right person, the man of our dreams. But here's the truth Carl Jung uncovered. Before the right person can truly find you, you must first know how to protect your soul. Because love without boundaries is not love, it is sacrifice. It is losing yourself piece by piece, while hoping someone will notice your worth. Emotional boundaries say, I will open my heart, but not at the cost of my safety. Physical boundaries say, I will welcome closeness, but only when my body is ready. Value boundaries say, loyalty is non-negotiable. This is who I am, and this is where I stand. Boundaries are not walls. They are invitations. They don't keep the right person away. They help him recognize you. And this is the paradox Jung revealed. The man of your dreams will not appear when you abandon yourself. He will appear when you finally become sovereign in who you are. In this video, we'll explore 5 Jungian keys to love and wholeness. Keys that protect your emotional safety while still inviting true connection. Keys that show why the deepest relationships are born, not from fear, but from courage. Emotional boundaries, protecting the soul while staying open. Every relationship begins in the invisible world of emotions. Before the touch, before the commitment. It is the emotional space between two people that decides whether love will flourish or slowly destroy you. Carl Jung observed that most suffering in relationships does not come from a lack of love, but from a lack of boundaries, especially emotional boundaries. An emotional boundary is not a wall. It is not cold or distant. It is a container, a sacred circle around your inner life. It protects your soul while still inviting connection. Think of it this way. Your emotions are like water. Without a container, they spill everywhere. They flood the space. They soak into places they were never meant to be. But with a container, that same water can refresh, nourish, and sustain. When you don't have emotional boundaries, you give too much too soon. You reveal your deepest wounds to someone you barely know. You absorb their moods as if they were your own. You carry their chaos, their anger, their fear inside your own nervous system. And what happens? You lose yourself. You can no longer tell where your feelings end and theirs begin. Jung called this psychic inflation, a merging of energies that feels intoxicating at first, but always leads to collapse, because no one can carry two souls at once. So how do you build emotional boundaries? It begins with a simple, courageous truth. You are not responsible for carrying what does not belong to you. Yes, you can care. Yes, you can listen, but you are not a dumping ground. You are not a sponge. You are not here to bleed yourself dry in the name of connection. Emotional boundaries sound like this. I want to understand you, but I also need space to process my own feelings. I can be present with you, but I cannot fix what you are unwilling to face. I care about your pain, but I will not sacrifice my peace to carry it for you. Do you hear the rhythm? It is not rejection. It is respect. Respect for yourself and for the other person. Because when you collapse boundaries, you don't actually give love. You give fusion, and fusion kills intimacy. Why? Because intimacy requires two whole people, not one person dissolving into another. Jung tied this to individuation, the process of becoming more fully yourself. He wrote, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But transformation requires distinction. Without boundaries, there is no true meeting, only drowning. Let's get practical. Imagine you are dating someone new. After 2 conversations, they pour out their entire life story, their heartbreaks, their betrayals, their unhealed wounds, and suddenly, you feel responsible. You feel guilty if you don't rescue them. That's not connection. That's emotional enmeshment, and it is a red flag. A healthier rhythm sounds like this: "I'd love to share more, but I also want to take it slowly." Or, "I care about what you've gone through, and I'd like to know you over time." Notice, the boundary is soft, not harsh. It does not slam the door. It simply sets the pace. And here is the paradox. The right person, the man of your dreams, will not be scared away by your boundaries. He will be drawn to them, because boundaries are the proof that you value yourself. And a man who values you will recognize that instantly. So, if you've ever felt drained in love, if you've ever given so much that nothing was left for you, if you've ever confused sacrifice with connection, remember this: emotional boundaries are not selfish. They are sacred. They protect your soul while still inviting true intimacy. And without them, no relationship can last. Because love is not about losing yourself. It is about meeting, soul to soul, whole to whole. And that meeting begins here, with the courage to say, "This is me, this is what I feel, and this is how I stay true to myself while I open to you." Physical boundaries, setting the pace of closeness. After emotional safety comes the question of the body. Because love is not only felt in the heart, it is carried in breath, in touch, in space. Carl Jung often described the body as the temple of the soul, and just like any sacred space, it must be entered with respect. But here is the problem. In our culture, physical intimacy is often rushed. There is pressure to move fast, pressure to prove chemistry, pressure to collapse space before trust has been built. And yet, when physical closeness is forced before the soul is ready, it does not create connection, it creates confusion. A physical boundary is not rejection, it is rhythm. It sets the pace of closeness, based on your readiness, not on someone else's desire. It sounds like this: "I enjoy being close, but I want to wait before becoming intimate." Or, "I'm comfortable with holding hands, but I need more time before we move further." Notice, these words do not close the door. They simply define the speed. They honor the body as a living compass, instead of treating it as an object of negotiation. Jung warned about what he called possession by archetype. When passion overrides presence, the archetype of the lover takes control. You feel consumed, you mistake intensity for safety, you surrender your body before your soul has had a chance to choose. And then, the aftermath. You wake up anxious, you question yourself, you feel exposed, because the intimacy did not flow with your timing. But when you honor your physical boundaries, something very different happens. Your body feels aligned. You experience closeness without panic, desire without self-betrayal, pleasure without regret. This is why Jung insisted that individuation is not just psychological, it is embodied. The body holds wisdom. The body says yes or no, long before the mind explains why. Let's imagine a simple scenario. You are on a date. The other person leans in for a kiss, but your body tenses. Your breath shortens. Your chest tightens. That is your nervous system speaking. It is not ready. And to ignore it is to betray yourself. Instead, you smile and you say softly, "I want to take it slow. When the time is right, I'll know, and it will mean more." If this is the right person, they will not pressure you. They will respect you more. Because boundaries are not walls. They are signals. Signals of self-respect. Signals of trustworthiness. And here's the paradox once again. The man who truly desires you doesn't just want your body. He wants your whole being. And he knows that when your body feels safe, your love will flow freely. So physical boundaries are not barriers to love. They are the very conditions that allow love to deepen. They keep desire alive while protecting your dignity. And in Jung's language, they are part of individuation, becoming whole, choosing for yourself, refusing to let the collective rush dictate your rhythm. So the next time you feel pressured, remember this: your body is not late. Your body is wise. And when you honor its timing, you give yourself the gift of intimacy that is not forced, but freely chosen. Because love is not a race to closeness, it is a dance. And the right partner will know how to move with your pace. Value boundaries, declaring your non-negotiables. We have spoken of the heart, we have spoken of the body. Now we must speak of the core, your values, because without value boundaries, love loses its ground. Carl Jung believed that beneath our personalities, beneath our masks, lie archetypal foundations, deep structures of meaning that define who we are. These are your values. They are not preferences. They are not negotiable. They are the lines that protect the very essence of your soul. When you ignore them, you betray yourself. When you honor them, you attract those who share your depth. A value boundary sounds like this: loyalty is non-negotiable for me. Or, I will not tolerate dishonesty. Or, my spiritual path must be respected. These are not rules meant to control others. They are revelations of who you are. They are invitations for the right person to step forward and for the wrong person to step away. But here's the trap. Many empaths, many sensitive souls bend their values in the name of love. They stay silent when betrayal occurs. They rationalize lies. They excuse disrespect. They say to themselves, maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I should just forgive. Jung called this shadow compromise, the abandonment of your deepest truths in exchange for the illusion of connection. But every time you collapse your values, a part of your soul dies, and soon the relationship feels hollow, not because the other betrayed you, but because you betrayed yourself first. This is why value boundaries matter. They declare who you are before the test comes. They prevent betrayal from becoming normalized. They keep your love aligned with integrity. Let's imagine this in practice. You are dating someone new, and you say clearly with calm strength, faithfulness is essential for me. If loyalty is not your way, we are not aligned. Now, some will leave, and that is not loss. That is clarity. Because the man of your dreams will not see your values as demands, he will see them as mirrors of his own. Jung often reminded us that individuation requires courage. The courage to stand apart from the collective, to honor your own inner law, even when it costs you approval. Value boundaries are this courage in action. They are the voice of yourself saying, I will not bargain with my soul. And here's the paradox once again. The more you declare your non-negotiables, the less you chase, the less you cling, because you trust that what is truly aligned will remain. So ask yourself now, what are your non-negotiables? What values must be present for you to feel safe, seen, and honored? Is it loyalty? Is it honesty? Is it respect for your spiritual journey? Is it commitment to growth? Write them, speak them, live them, because values unspoken become boundaries unguarded, and boundaries unguarded become wounds. But when you declare them, you invite the right person into your sacred circle, and you make it impossible for the wrong person to linger in your life. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Your values are the map of that becoming, and the courage to declare them is the key to finding love that does not betray your soul. So remember this: boundaries are not ultimatums, they are declarations. And the man of your dreams will not resist them. He will recognize himself in them, because true love does not begin where values are abandoned. True love begins where values are shared, and those values are non-negotiable. How to communicate boundaries without fear. It's one thing to know your boundaries. It's another to speak them. Because the moment you open your mouth, the fear rises. What if they think I'm too demanding? What if they leave? What if my truth scares them away? Carl Jung reminded us that fear of rejection is one of the deepest collective wounds. We long to belong. We long to be chosen. So we silence ourselves, hoping love will last if we hide our needs. But hiding is not love. Hiding is performance, and performance always collapses. So how do you communicate your boundaries? Without fear, without sounding like you are issuing ultimatums. There are 3 keys. Key 1. Speak from the I. Boundaries are not accusations. They are not about what the other does wrong. They are about what keeps you whole. Instead of, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel loved when I'm heard." Instead of, "You can't just disappear for days," try, "I feel safe when there is consistency." Do you hear the shift? It is not blame, it is self-revelation. It transforms defense into intimacy. Key 2, pair boundaries with invitation. A boundary without warmth feels like a wall, but a boundary with invitation feels like a door. Instead of, "I won't tolerate dishonesty," try, "Honesty is what makes me open my heart more." Instead of, "I'm not rushing into intimacy," try, "I want closeness to unfold slowly, so that when we do share it, it feels safe and unforgettable." This is how boundaries become magnetic. They do not push away. They draw in the one who is aligned. Key 3, keep your tone calm and steady. Fear makes us rigid, but sovereignty makes us soft. Jung said, "What you resist persists." If you speak with fight, you invite resistance. If you speak with clarity, you invite resonance. Take a breath, feel your body, and say it simply, not as a weapon, but as a truth. Let's imagine this in practice. Scenario 1, you've just started dating. He suggests moving faster physically. Your body tenses. Without boundaries, you might laugh nervously, go along, and later feel regret. With fear, you might snap, "Stop pushing me." But with sovereign communication, you smile gently and say, "I love being close to you. And I also want to move at a pace where my body feels safe." That way, when the moment comes, it will be even more meaningful. This does not shame. It does not accuse. It honors your truth while keeping the door open. Scenario 2. You discover he has been vague about his intentions. Instead of silence, you breathe and you say, "Loyalty is important to me. It's what lets me give my whole self. If commitment is not your path, it's better to know now." Notice, you did not demand, you declared, you did not trap, you revealed. This is the art of communicating boundaries. And here is the paradox Jung loved to highlight. The wrong person will be scared away by your boundaries, and that is grace, because they were never meant to stay. The right person will lean in closer. He will feel relief, because your clarity makes him feel safe too. Boundaries spoken with fear repel. Boundaries spoken with sovereignty attract. So remember this, when you communicate your truth softly, clearly, without apology, you do not lose love. You create the only conditions where love can actually grow, because true intimacy is not built on guessing games, it is built on truth, and your truth, spoken with courage, is the most irresistible invitation of all. The 5th key, boundaries as invitations, not walls. We have come to the final key, and perhaps the most misunderstood, because many believe that boundaries push people away, that they scare love off, that they make you too difficult, too complicated, too much. But Carl Jung would remind us, a wall is built from fear, a boundary is built from truth, and the difference changes everything. When you build walls, you are saying, "No one can come close. I will protect myself by hiding." Walls feel like safety, but they are isolation. They keep out not only harm, but also intimacy. But when you build boundaries, you are saying, "This is who I am. This is how I stay whole. If you can honor this, you are welcome. Do you hear the difference? A wall blocks. A boundary invites. Think of a sacred circle. In every culture, the circle protects the fire at the center. The circle is not there to suffocate the flame. It is there to allow the flame to burn brighter without being blown out. Your boundaries are that sacred circle. They do not extinguish love. They protect it. They give it shape. They make it sustainable. Here is the paradox. The wrong man will run when you set boundaries. But the right man, the man of your dreams, will recognize them as the signal that you are real, that you are sovereign, that you are worth loving with his whole being, because to him, your boundaries do not feel like rejection, they feel like trust. They tell him, this woman knows who she is. She cannot be manipulated. She cannot be possessed. But she can be cherished. She can be chosen. And that is irresistible. Let's imagine it. You say to him, I need honesty. I need loyalty. I need time to feel safe before moving closer. The wrong man hears demands. He feels threatened. He leaves. The right man hears direction. He feels honored. He stays. Boundaries are the compass that reveals who belongs. They do the work for you. They separate shadow from truth, illusion from reality. Jung called individuation the art of becoming whole. And part of that art is the courage to stop begging for love in places where your soul is denied. Boundaries are not the end of connection. They are the beginning. Because only when two people meet as whole, only when each knows their circle, can the fire of intimacy burn without consuming them. So let us reframe it once and for all. Boundaries are not cages, they are invitations. They are the doorway where true love enters, and the man of your dreams will not appear when you collapse yourself. He will appear when you finally stand strong within yourself, when your circle is drawn, when your truth is spoken, when your love is protected. Because then, and only then, does love have the space to grow. So remember this. The wall says, stay away. The boundary says, come closer. If you can meet me here. And the man who is meant for you will not fear your boundaries. He will recognize them, and he will recognize you, not as a mask, not as a role, but as the woman you truly are. So now, we have walked together through the 5 keys, emotional boundaries, to protect your heart while still allowing love to flow. Physical boundaries, to honor the rhythm of your body instead of rushing into intimacy. Value boundaries, to declare your non-negotiables and to attract the one who shares them. The courage to communicate without fear, so your truth becomes an invitation, not a battle. And finally, the 5th key. Understanding that boundaries are not walls. They are doorways. Doorways that allow the right person to recognize you and step closer. These are not tricks. They are not tactics. They are the foundations of a life lived in alignment. Carl Jung would call them part of individuation, the process of becoming whole, and only from wholeness can true love be born. So I ask you now, which of these 5 keys do you need most in your life today? Is it the strength to protect your emotions, the patience to set the pace of closeness, the clarity to declare your values, the courage to speak without fear, or the wisdom to see your boundaries as invitations, not walls? Share your reflections in the comments below. Your story might be the exact mirror someone else needs to hear tonight. And if this journey has spoken to you, if it has given you even one insight, one reminder of your worth, then I invite you to like this video, subscribe for more explorations into Jungian psychology and the mysteries of love, and share it with someone you care about. Because in a world that tells us to perform, to rush, to abandon ourselves in the name of love, we need spaces like this, where truth is honored, where the soul is protected, and where love is allowed to grow real. Remember this: The man of your dreams will not find you when you disappear behind masks. He will find you when you finally stand in your circle, whole, sovereign, and free. And that is where true love begins.